What's up, everybody? Destry coming back to you, your local wizard from Tarottothecore, here to give you your card of the day. Here we picked Debauched. See, it's a very yucky energy. I felt it before I even picked this card. The energy, it's all muddy, you feel like you're stuck. So what I see when we pick this card is we're dipping into old pleasures. It was fun for a while, but now they're getting all yucky again. There's also a sense of disappointment that hasn't necessarily been resolved. We keep dipping back into it, so it makes our energy very low, and we sit there like we're stuck and we don't know how to get back out of it, and we keep just repeating these same cycles over and over again. So what we want to do is we really want to unplug from these and really change the cycle, get out of the loop that we keep doing, dipping in the old pleasures. I really see this a lot. I have a lot of experience with addicts. And during this time with nothing to do, a lot of us are sitting at home. We're dipping into old pleasures that necessarily didn't work for us before. But now that we have nothing to do, we keep re-dipping back into it. And it's screwing us back up. We're going back into old timelines that don't even exist anymore. And it's really detrimental to our soul, energy, and just our being in general. So what we can do is we could sit there and we can create our own protection. We can sit in our head and visualize bubbles or vortexes flying around us to keep recutting these cords and preventing us from plugging back in. But whenever we do something like this, we also got to re-heal what we unplugged from, because now there's just a hole there. So every time we unplugged before, we just kind of left this like vacuum hole inside of us that we could not fill. So energetically, we have to fill it back up. We can use a number of things. We can envision like light filling it back up, and just like threading and everything. A lot of these techniques really work. So if we sit there and we meditate and we really visualize all these holes being filled back up, especially in this really bad time where some of us, it just doesn't make any sense but to dip back into these old things. Like I said before, that vacuum hole that was left before, if you never healed it up, it can really suck that cord back in, and we can really dip back into these old things. It sucks out our energy, it sucks out who we truly are, and we don't want to be stuck there. So creating like a vortex or protection bubbles during these times can really help us. And since we keep re-dipping back into disappointment, like, oh, why do I keep doing this again? I don't understand how to fix it. I don't understand me anymore. Like, why do I keep doing this, creating the same mistake? It's pretty much because we keep dipping back into that timeline. We never actually healed what we unplugged from before. Regardless, we just filled it up with something else in the 3D world, which never works. So we gotta really fill that void with like energetic and light and everything like that. And there are certain people who can help with that. I do energy work. I also do readings. I do many things. But this is just like a quick like how-to video to get out of this debauched energy that's really surfacing now, since we've all been stuck in kind of like this like little void for quite a while now, not knowing what's going on with all this COVID-19 spreading. Some of us stuck at home with the families, and we just don't necessarily know how to escape from all this negative energy that keeps bringing us back to this point where we don't know who we are anymore, and we're stuck and we can't figure it out. We can't do everything necessarily that we like to do in the 3D world that helped us forget this. So maybe there's people you can reach out to. You can look up people who know how to do this work and help you and can teach you. I mean, my little basic things are, I create energy bubbles around me that help me protect myself. I create vortexes and mirrors that reflect negative energy. And I also, every time I unplug from something, I imagine like a platinum blue light re-threading through that hole to fill it back up. So that way, that energetic cord can never plug itself back in. But if I get out of this mind frame that I can do that, I can always reopen that hole or energetically let that cord back in to suck me right back into that. So it's kind of like a constant practice that we want to keep doing, and we want to keep forming and constantly keep going into this. So we all look at pleasure as like good, but some pleasure can also be bad. So once it becomes bad, it kind of becomes like that debauched energy, and it just puts us back into that low vibration that we don't want to be in. We probably replugged into a lot of different things. So the question for yourself now is, what are you dipping back into that necessarily is not you anymore, or you never should have been doing in the first place? And really sit with that, figure it out. You can even write it down, and then you can sit there and you can meditate and imagine you being unplugged from this and re-healing that yourself. It is possible to do yourself. You can do it many other ways. Other people can help you and help guide you through this. So I just wanted to jump on quick and give this little example, because a lot of that energy is starting to surface now, and we want to step out of this. We want to move forward. We all want to be light workers. We all want to be able to shift our energy for the greater good and try to shift this whole world out of this chaos and fear. And I mean, a lot of those cords that could need to be cut right now with what's going on in the world are fear. So let's cut the cord of fear. We can all do it together. We can just picture that cord unplugged from the grimy, big fear grid that's real straight plugged into most of this world right now. Unplug it, re-heal it with light. Just feel calmer and better and start to move on for a better and greater world. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. I'm Destry from Tarottothecore. Stay woke.